Today, hashtag Innovative India Movement in association with Safeguarding Children Seva Samiti Uttar Pradesh, Kaushambi Foundation Uttar Pradesh, India, International Human Rights Commission, All India Council for Human Rights, Liberties and Social Justice, National Council for News and Broadcasting, and Voices on the Mount Africa, Ghana. We welcome our guest speaker from Europe, Honorable Judge Srdan Simac. He is an PhD, Honorable Judge of High Commercial Court of Republic Croatia, President of Croatian Mediation Association. He will be talking today on topic Mediation Builds Humanistic Dispute Resolution World. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Hello, sir. So, what is mediation in dispute resolution? Please tell our audience today about something about that.
Okay. Dispute resolution can include a lot of different methods. It is very usual to say in the world, alternative dispute resolution. So when you say alternative, it does mean that there is some alternative to the courts, to the litigation. So I would like to say that the mediation is the first or some kind of synonym of alternative dispute resolution, in spite of the fact that mediation should be or can be the primary way of solving disputes. So in essence, when we are talking about the ways of solving disputes, there are at least 4 of them. There are much more, of course. One is negotiation. The second one is mediation, then litigation and arbitration. 3 of them, these 4 are the most famous. And the mediation, I like to say that mediation is not alternative to the courts, but to the failed negotiation. So mediation is actually advanced form of negotiations with the presence of third neutral party mediator with the trust of both parties, So the difference between mediation and negotiation is there is someone else in the middle, Mediare, Latin word means in the middle. So as you know, and our listeners know, it's very hard to be in own conflict. It's so easy to make a firework in personal relation. But when somebody else is in between, in the middle of 2 people in conflicts, there is something quite different. And in mediation, mediator cannot decide about the case, about the dispute. Mediator just is helping parties to find their own solution. So, many professionals, including my profession, lawyers, they fail in some trap. What does it mean? It means professional trap. What does it mean? It means when people are in conflict, when they have broken relation. My representatives of my law profession, they think they need to suggest them solution very quickly. But it is very hard, that I suggest my solution for your problem,
Right.
I can be some kind of authority, professional, knowledgeable about the law, and you can obey or accept what I suggested to you. But because it is not it is not your solution, you will be not happy with it. And mediator is the person who offer help to the parties. They find their own solution by their rules and by their measure. It's its own personal justice.
So, as you have told that there are some steps like negotiation, arbitration. So, can you just briefly explain what arbitration is and it is different from how it is different from mediation?
Okay, so definitely you know about courts and about litigation. So it means state courts where judges decide about the case instead of the parties, and they are deciding by the law.
Okay,
And disputants have no big role in it. The biggest role have lawyers, you know, and judges. And you have no any control over decision made by the judge. The arbitration is something pretty similar, but arbitration is a private court, you know, private, not a state court.
okay,
Usually arbitrators decide in council of 3 people. One party choose one arbitrator, another party choose second one, and 2 arbitrators choose the president of the arbitration council. And when you choose
okay,
arbitrators, you, from that point on, you have no control over them because they will decide about you by the law, the same as state court. Only what is different is
okay,
you can choose those arbitrators. Judges you cannot choose. They are usually experts for the field from dispute is coming from, and
okay.
everything in arbitration procedure is a kind of more pleasant than in state court.
Okay. Wow. So, so what are the advantages of mediation if a person is in mediation process, or are there any training programs which have been provided for the mediators, for the person who is in the conflict resolution management things are going on? So,
Yes,
please guide us on that, right?
yes, of course. So uh, there is a great training about mediation. There is a basic mediation training for mediators, and there are much more. Whole mediation is based on human skills, you know, soft, non-legal human skills. And
Okay.
we usually believe that we as humans, we don't need any more skills as human beings, but we need. And
Exactly.
there is a lot of disciplines around us, from psychology, neurology, sociology, and many others, who create a sum of great knowledge and experience and practice you can use in any conflict, from how to communicate, how to deal with the conflict, how to negotiate, how to mediate. You know, we call mediation an art of being human, or justice with the human face, or the best day for any dispute in the life of
Right.
any dispute. Why? When you are going to the court or to the arbitration, you can expose yourself, your life, your business to the somebody else decision, you know.
Exactly.
Those people are usually strangers for you, and your involvement in the arbitration and the court procedure is pretty tough, hard for you. You cannot follow the procedure, you cannot understand the law, you cannot understand the language. But the idea of mediation is to put the parties, disputants, people who are in a conflict, in the center of the world, you know. In mediation, disputants
Right.
are the most important person at the moment. Why?
Exactly.
So it is a way of bringing a responsibility for the resolution of the dispute to those who created it, you know. So if you and me are in conflict, so only you and me are the only owners of our conflict. Only we know.
True. Very true.
Only we know what is happened. Only we know what is the best solution for us. Only two of us are decision makers for what we need, what we want. And both of us are, each of us are only and the best expert for our life, for our business. And mediation and mediators tell to the disputants, this is your life, this is your business, this is your destiny. You know the best.
Right.
But probably you need a little help, because in a conflict, people are not rational, they are very emotional. They assume very badly about each other. They hate each other.
Right.
They became enemies. They do not talk to each other. They tried a lot of things to find the peaceful solution, but they didn't. They didn't know how to do it. And actually, they didn't try to find it. They just competed to each other who is right and who is not, you know. And that's the source of the conflict. Our feeling, I'm right. We humans so love that feeling. Yes, I'm right. So, but you know, in the real life, the sense of I'm right is usually totally useless in any relation. So, would you be rather right or happy? Would you be rather right or in a relation, business relation, personal relation? Would you rather be, I don't know, right or in peace, you know, or in the war? So all of us people are subjective, you know. We have own lenses or own glasses, and we see and perceive the world through them. And we have own,
very like you said,
we have own experience, and everything we see, we transform and I can't remember right now English word.
Frame the things accordingly, right?
According how we are, not how the reality is. And everything what we see, we think it's true, you know. Usually we think it is objective, but you know, there is no objective person in the world. If we have a God could be objective, but not we humans, because we are focused, narrowed on own narrow one-sided interest, and we are doing everything in our interest, even when we are not aware about it. So it's very hard for us when we are faced with someone who says, Judge Simac, you are not right. What you are talking about is not correct. It is not logical. It is not right. So whenever we are faced with such a thing, our brain cannot process that is just different opinion, but our brain processes it at is attack on us, you know, attack on what we see, what we believe, and on our truth of the world, you know. And then when you say that you don't agree with me, I'm trying to defend myself. And if you are consistent and want to go further, I try to attack you, and then there is a conflict escalation, and people very soon lose trust, break communication, demonize each other, and make alliances on each side. And finally, when it is important for them, they go to the court, you know. And the court is very unpleasant environment for the people, you know. Someone else decide about you, you don't know him or her, you don't understand them, they only them ask you something about your life, what is important for them, not for you. They are asking from you just only what is legally relevant, but you as a person who is not a lawyer, you don't have even clue what is legal relevant. You know that you have a life problem. And now, and finally they decide about you without real participation in this decision. But today we have a mediation, and we have a different kind of litigation. First, mediation. So in mediation, when I told you earlier, you are the most important person. So I'm not a judge in a mediation. I am there to help parties find their own solution. So I'm there to provide them with a safe environment in which they will feel secure, safe, and pleasant, even they are at the same table with the person to whom they are in a conflict. They didn't talk for 3 years. But now I am in the middle. I got authority from all or both of them because they believe me. I call it natural authority. As a judge, I have a formal authority, you know, by the law, and people respect me not because they like me, but they respect me because they fear of me, because I'm the one who is going to decide about them.
True.
And because of that, nobody telling me truth, you know, truth. But but in mediation, you are coming in front of the person who has special knowledge, special skills about communication, negotiation, conflict management, who is good with the people, and who is not deciding about you, you know. This is your case, this is your life. I'm here to help you find the best solution for you and you. And you can expect that you will disagree again, that you will hear something you disagree, but please just be calm and let each other to talk without interrupting, and try to listen and get as much information you don't know from the other side, you know. And in court, people hide information because they know if they relieve something what is not in favor of them in the court, they will lose the case. But in mediation, because I'm not a person who is going to decide about them, they are free to talk about everything what is important for them, not for me. I encourage them to talk. I encourage the other side and myself to listen, to be focused, and to acknowledge and to respect and to give empathy for their big life or business problem. And in such an environment, they start to change their behavior toward to each other. They transform their relations about each other. Yesterday, they were enemies, but today, in mediation, we are helping them to become partners in solving own problems. If you are friends or marriage couple or family member or business partner or owner, you cannot solve the problem without each other. And there is no and we judges in the courts, we are not
Right.
gods who will find the best ever solution for you, because we are just
True.
ruling by the law, and the law and justice is very different things, you know. But in mediation, we invite them to find their own justice, to find common ground, common truths. They are coming with the two different stories, you know, two different perceptions. Right. And because they didn't talk last 3 years, they made a huge number of negative assumptions to each other. But in mediation, what is related with your topic, what you do, we remind them that they are just equal human beings, persons, irreplaceable, worthy, and different and unique, and that they are not enemies. And from some point, when they feel welcomed, respected, heard, understood, they become much more calm, much more open to each other, and to talk and to realize what were the reasons they behaved badly in the past, and what they can do now. Forget the past. We cannot improve the past.
Change it.
But what we can do as two persons, two humans, we can find the solution right now for our future and find the peace.
Right.
So in mediation, we transform confrontation, you know, and the fight,
conflict,
right, from negative to positive force, you know, and we transform them to partners in solving own solution. So I used to say to them very often, please, from now on, I'm begging you, do not attack to each other anymore, because you realize that it is not useful. It is counterproductive. Your problem is bigger and bigger and bigger. But from now on, I'm begging you that both of you attack together your problem, you know. So not anymore attack each other.
No, but no blaming games and all, right?
Exactly.
No blame games.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the pure humanity in action. That's amazing how it is possible to see how we are humans, are social beings, and how we are connected, and how we can wire to each other, and how if you are kind to me, I behave reciprocity, and I'm kind with you. But if you attack me, if you blame me, if you accuse me, if you use bad words like in court because you want to beat me, to defeat me, to make a victory, I will fight back, you know. So in mediation, there is no danger, there is no threat, there is just people with the problem who is very big for them, who are struggling, and who didn't find, who couldn't find the right solution for them without the help. And mediators and mediation can help a lot.
Right, sir. Rightly said, sir. It is an art, and we require it to stop all the blame games, all the disputes, and to have a positive energy. Sir, one more question here I want to ask you. What is the humanistic approach to mediation? Like you have already told us a lot of the things, but are there any steps which have to be followed to keep this mediation more towards keeping it a positive energy, positive aura? Are there some steps which are being followed by the mediator in the process, or it is like active listening? First, we have to listen and then solve the problems of not solve the problems, but give a solution, a valid solution to both the parties.
Of course. So whole mediation is pretty serious job.